This is a sort of crash course in thread tension and needle problems. There are a handful of things that will resolve most problems, and so this video is going to touch on those things. First of all, you need to make sure that you have the correct needle size for the diameter of the thread that you're using. So your needle hole should be 40% larger than your thread diameter. So if you're using larger thread, you need a larger needle. You also need to make sure that your needle is sharp. So your needle needs to be replaced at a rate of approximately every 8 hours of sewing. The next things that are really important are that you need to make sure that your machine is correctly threaded. And different machines will have a different threading configuration, but generally this is how it works. You've got some loops or different things that it needs to go through, and then it needs to go through your tensioner. Then you also have this arm up here that it needs to go through, some more loops down to your needle. And so you need to make sure that it's correctly threaded, and you need to check your user manual to determine what that might be. Your needle should be configured so that you have your little groove here going to the right. Your thread is going through the hole here on the left. Just like that. You also need to make sure that your bobbin is correctly threaded. And how you do that on an industrial sewing machine, and it might be different for non-industrial sewing machines, is that your thread is coming off clockwise, and it needs to go and snap into your bobbin casing, and then it goes into this little notch here and pulls down into that notch and up through this little piece right here. This is the bobbin tensioner. So it ends up looking just like that, and then it slips back into your machine. Lastly, you need to make sure that your tension is correct on your upper thread and on your bobbin thread. So the tension on the bobbin needs to be correct, and you've got your thread tensioning screw here on your bobbin. Clockwise is tighter and counterclockwise is looser, and that is actually the same for this tensioner here. Clockwise is tighter, counterclockwise is looser. And so it's important to make sure that all three of those things, the correct size needle and that it's sharp, that it needs to be correctly threaded, and that you have the correct tension, and that will solve 80% of your thread and needle problems.